Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Let's say, Mike. Hey, what up? What up? What up? It's your boy B, baby. Hey, first off, I want you guys that's coming on here, share this feed, share this post, share this live message, baby. We about to turn up. Share it with all your people. Like it, love it. Follow my fan page, Bryan S Harris. Follow my YouTube channel. Search Homes for 10K. But it's your boy B. Guys, perfect sight, no vision. 2020 here, no here. Scripture says people perish because of lack of vision. People perish because of lack of vision, man. You think about that one right there. Got all the sight in the world. You can see through them physical lenses, but when that opportunity come in your face, you tend to lose it, right? You can't see far. I just saw a post that said, don't wait for the perfect occasion. It says, seize the common occasions and make them great. It says, weak men wait for great opportunities. It says, strong men create them. And how do you create them? You create them with the vision. The vision of your mind, by molding the image, pressing it up on the thinking stuff that permeates and penetrates the interspaces of the universe. Guys, this is a book I'm reading. And like I said, I recommend everybody to read this one. It's called The Science of Getting Rich. And it says that the science of getting rich is a mathematical science. It's mathematical, just like 1 + 1 is 2 and 2 × 2 is 4. It's scientific. It's mathematic. Meaning it's a certainty. It's not something that you got to hope for or guess. And he says in the book, I want to share this with you. He says there's a thinking stuff. I want you to follow me on this one. There's a thinking stuff from which all things are made. There's a thinking stuff from which all things are made that permeates and penetrates the interspaces of the universe. Think about that one. That means that we can't see it. It's invisible. It's in this ether. But there's this thinking stuff that's in between us and everything else that permeates and penetrates the interspaces of all the universe. Everything between you, there's some thinking stuff in between it. And he says, a thought impressed upon this thinking stuff, a thought that is impressed upon this thinking stuff creates the image that is formed by the thought. So what he's saying is, when you think a thought or you have a vision and you impress it upon this ether, this thinking stuff that permeates and penetrates everything, the thought is then formed into the image is now formed into something or substance. And he says, if people talk about that there is lack and there is, different things that go around, there's a lack of gold. He said, well, in the physical world, there is lack. But in the invisible world, in the infinite world, in the abundant world, God knows no lack. And in the infinite, in the invisible world, there is no lack, meaning whatever is needed will be supplied when the time is come for it to be used. You got to understand that if your bank account is on zero, you feel me? This may sound like a bunch of hogwash to you, but if your bank account is on zero and you looking at that physical bank account, here's the thing that you got to understand about this world. Money is floating through you. Money, we rarely use on a bigger scale, a large scale of money. You're doing $100,000, $1 million, $100 million transactions. Money moves through the ether. It travels through the ether. Through you. It's going through you all the time. It's circulating. So what you got to do is you got to get in that infinite thinking, that vision thinking, and see that money, kind of like that matrix. See that money flowing, and you got to capture that money with your mental aspect, your mental side of your brain. You got to have vision. It's money, billions of dollars flowing through your body right now, flowing through your physical body. You can't see the invisible money that's flowing through you. And all you got to do is capture it. Capture it with an idea. Capture it with an opportunity. Capture it with your work ethic. Capture it. Create it in thought. See yourself with it. And that money will begin to appear in your bank account as if it was already there. Call those things that be not as though they were. Why do you think they say that over and over and over again in Scripture? Call those things that be not as though they were. Call those things that be not as though they were. Thou shalt decree a thing, and thy thoughts shall be established unto thee. I don't know if you're a Christian, or you Buddha, or read the Bible. Whatever you are, it's riddled in every dogma or religion that you can think of. Whatsoever you desire. And this is what I want you to do. If you don't have the faith and this understanding, the faith in this belief system, what some people call the faith in law of attraction, the faith in Scripture, what I want you to do is, I want you to start out by simply reciting the words that Jesus said. And I want you to meditate on that. Pray without ceasing is what Paul said. And I want you to meditate on these words. Whatsoever you desire. And I want you to think about that. I want you to think about every word. Whatsoever you desire. What does that mean? Does that mean, like if $100 million is too big? No, whatsoever you desire. And what happens is, guys, when you get tuned up and lined up with the spirit side of you, God will flow through your brains. And I'm going to talk about something here in just a second. But it'll flow through your brains, and those good, positive, mental clarity thinking thoughts will flow through you. Whatsoever you desire, your desires of your heart. Your desires of your heart. Whatsoever you desire, when you pray. Look up what prayer means. Look up the definition of prayer. Prayer is not mere begging. Prayer is not wishing. Prayer is giving thanks. Understand that. Look up the Webster's definition of prayer. Prayer is not begging. Oh, Lord, please give me this. No. Prayer is thanks that you already have it in mind. So whatsoever you desire when you pray, whatsoever you desire, let's translate, when you give thanks that you already have it. Whatsoever you desire when you give thanks that you already have it. Believe that you have it. You can't, a man who thanks God for something that he has in mind, oh man, a man that has the mental understanding to thank God for something that he has in mind and not in the body, he is transformed. He is transformed. When you develop the mindset to give thanks for what you've received in your mental mind, it's just a matter of moments before it manifests in your life. Guys, this is getting me excited. I'm about to go do I did 4 miles earlier today, and I just got a lot of energy. I want to talk about this real quick. Guys, some people hear me talk about the mental clarity of this oil, this saturated fat called Mickey T. And somebody inboxed and said, I didn't get the same, effect of the mental clarity. And I want you to understand that there are certain foods that stop the flow of the connection that you have between you and all power, God, and infinite source. And certain foods closes those receptors. Have you ever sprayed water out of a water hose? And when you spray water out there, if you bend that water hose, the hose shuts off, the water shuts off. There are certain foods that you eat that closes your receptors to receive the juice that you need from God or the spirit world. Sugar is one of those things. And it closes the receptors, and it almost makes you walk around as zombies. No willpower, forgetting your greatness, forgetting how to think. Somebody say, I'm trying to think. You know how people say that when they talk about, I'm trying to think. The foods that you put in your body cut off those receptors, and your connection to the infinite source, to God, is cut off. What you got to do is you got to fuel your body, and what happens is when you fuel your body the right way, those receptors open up, meaning the vessel is clean and it can flow through you. The phytonutrients from the vegetables that you eat, the plants that you eat, and all those things can flow through your body free and clear, giving you good mental clarity. So if you're not getting, if you don't know what to look for mental clarity, it will be definitely hard to understand what I'm saying when I say it gives you so much mental clarity. Because when you're open and you do have the mental clarity, what happens is you start to receive an infinite and an abundant flow of thoughts and good thinking. And what you have to do, I taught this in a class the other day, you have to have a notepad near you, writing down these thoughts that are passing to you, because what they'll do is these ideas are forms of energy that want to be manifested in this physical world. So just as fast as they flash in your mind, they'll flash away from you as well, searching for the person that they can become life form with. Maybe I'm talking a little bit too deep to this group. Maybe I should go back to the classroom and talk about this. Guys, it's so powerful, man. So the foods that you eat can cut off your vision. Perfect sight, no vision. Perfect sight. It's nothing to have. You can be blind in this world, but if you have vision, you can play the piano, you can paint art. How do you do that? Through vision. Perfect sight and no vision, guys. So make sure as you're growing as a person and you're growing in your life, that you make sure that health is wealth to you as well. This is something that I've made a lot of money in my lifetime. I've been making a lot of money since I was 21 years. I've been working for myself since I was 21 years old, man. My own business. And I neglected my health for a big portion of those years, thinking that wealth was the money, was all the money. I neglected my physical body and my mind. So I was just chasing the dollar, and blowing up, bigger and bigger and bigger. Eating BS foods, fried foods, carbs and sugar and all this stuff. And you look up 10, 15 years later, I'm 36 now. So 15 years I've been working for myself, 36 now. And, you're 300 plus pounds. So what happens is you may not have noticed this because I have a lot of energy. I'm not the coffee guy. I'm not on any drugs or anything. I just got a lot of energy, guys. I'm natural energy, but I noticed that my willpower was leaving. My will to be great, my will to do more, to want more, my will and my energy levels was just depleted when I would get home from working all day. Or as I was rising, I noticed at one point in time I was at my heaviest, and I'm sitting there laying in the bed in the morning and then had 10, 11 hours of sleep. And I was still tired. That's when I knew something wrong. I didn't get the news from a doctor, oh, you got this disease, you got that disease. I knew I wasn't going to have that. I don't see diseases in my body. But the thing is, as that was happening to me, I said, I know I'm not supposed to be tired if I've gotten 10 or 11 hours of sleep. So I did what I felt like everybody should do. I sought out help from people that were where I wanted to be. And that's the thing. I was in the gym today. Somebody needed a spot. That's what a helper does, a coach, a mentor, whatever does. They spot you and give you that little extra boost. So they're where you want to be. And I sought out people who had the bodies that I wanted. I sought out people who lived the nutritional lifestyle that I wanted. I would never hire a fat trainer. I would never hire a person that looked like me back then, right? I would never hire, or if I'm trying to get some money, I would never hire a broke financial mentor, right? So you got to understand who you're hiring. So I sought out people that could help me get to where I want to be. And they educated me about the different foods that you put in your body and what they do to you, and the effects that they have on you. And it literally described everything that I was going through, everything that I had happening to me. And what I did, guys, is I made a decision. That's the biggest thing, choices. I made a decision to change. And I'm telling you guys, like, I was at a weight where I thought that shit, it was over. Like, meaning like, hey, I ain't gonna do it to get bigger for you. I don't need to lose weight. What do I need to lose weight for? Making an excuse for myself to be fat, man. And, but I decided to make a change, and this is what I did. And I hope I'm talking to somebody, and who, I know a lot of people end up seeing this videos later, but I'm hoping I'm talking to somebody, that may feel like they're at a place financially, physically, or whatever the case may be, that you're past the breaking point and you don't think you can turn back. I was that person, guys. And so I'm telling you, what I did was, first, for 2 years, I was doing my audio visuals, meaning like I listen to myself speak from where I want to be. And it's like, I'm like, man, the weight thing ain't happening. But what I did was, one of my best friends bought me a NutriBullet about 5 years ago. And I started using it. I started using it every morning. And so, but in the evening time, I would eat pizza. Moles and Southwest Grill, I would do all that bad stuff in the evening time. But what I was doing is I was developing a habit. And so a year later, I started doing breakfast and lunch. And then, I started doing more healthy options. And so what I'm saying is, the vision that I gave my mind to focus in on, you don't understand how God creates and manifests and moves things and orchestrates your body to make decisions that will support the vision that you gave him. So I didn't see that at the time. I didn't understand what was happening. But now that I look back, I'm like, it was working the whole time. The moment I decided to change, it was working then. And so I look back, and then about a year ago, I was sitting on the couch on January and talking to my friend. And I was like, man, I need to do something about this weight. Now it's like I got a spark of inspiration, and I got up and I was like, I'm finna go walking. 335 pounds, dude, at the time. I'm finna go walking. And I was like, I don't know where I'm walking to, but I'm gonna walk. And I walked for 5 minutes. Dog ass tired. Oh, like hardly breathe, right? Oh, shoot. But you know what? It was progress to me. And I was like, man, I did it. And so I came home and I immediately brought it. One of the ideas that popped in my head while I was walking. That's why it's good to work out. You get a clear-cut mental clarity, connection between you and infinite, you and God, you and that source. And that receptor opens up. You're a clear vessel. And so I got an inspiration, a spark of thought, and it said, go back home and write out a meal plan. Google what foods to eat. And so what I did was, I said, okay, I'm gonna cut out some carbs, and I'm gonna only eat carbs once a day. And I'm gonna eat my carbs at the time, I didn't know, but I would eat my carbs in the morning for breakfast, and it'll be like a wheat meal. I mean, not a wheat meal, but a wheat bread or something like that. Some small piece of bread. And then I would do just veggies and meat the rest of the time. And so I put like a carb, and I'll do meat, and I'll do some spinach, some veggies. And then the next meal I would do like a little small stack, like some turkey meat and some veggies, and then so on. And so I put a 5 or 6 meal plan together. That was the best that I knew how to do. I just started where I knew. You may be a nutritionist and say, man, that's stupid, right? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I was making progress. Meaning I went from wanting to have a pizza to I made a decision. And so I went and I started doing that, and I did this. And so within like 2 weeks, I lost like 20 pounds. I was down to 315. I was like, oh my God, when you're that heavy, you drop weight like crazy. And so I was down to 3, and that gave me the motivation to keep going. And within like 5 or 6 months, I was down to like 300. And then I was down to like 290. I'm like, oh, shoot. And what happened was I hit a stalemate at 290, but I didn't stop. I kept going. I was giving myself like a cheat meal once a week, every Friday. I would give myself a cheat meal. And so, but what I still wasn't at the vision that I had for myself. And so what I did was, this is when I sought out, I wanted to go to the next level. I was talking to my son the other night, and I'm coming back to this, but I was telling him how greatness runs in his veins. Like, he's a Harris. Like, whatever your last name is, your child is that, right? But in our family, greatness runs through our veins, right? That's what we were taught. That's what I was taught. That's what I'm teaching mine. And so by greatness running through our veins, he had a 6. His school requires, he's in the 3rd grade. His school requires him to read a minimum of 24 books in 9 weeks. 200-page books. And my son is a genius. I mean, everybody says this about their kid, but I'm serious though. He's like a real live genius. And so he came home with a 6. And we was thinking that this past Monday was the day for the cutoff for the class. I mean, for the points. That he had to have 12 points by Monday. And so I don't really, chastise my children like that. I don't do all that. But I let them know that as a man to man, I'm disappointed. You got what I'm saying? And so I said, son, you know what a 6 is? I treat my sons, I give them the world, you know, they have a lot of stuff. And I said, you know what a 6 is, son? I was like, you know, like when we go to these rental houses, etc., he calls it the hood or whatever. He don't like living in the hood, right? So I was like, okay, what about the Ritz-Carlton? Just, you know, as an example, I was like, you like staying at the Ritz-Carlton, son? Or you like the neighborhood we staying in? He said, yeah, of course, Dad. Like, yeah, you know, like, when are we going back, you know, in a couple weeks or whatever? And so I'm like, I said, a 6 is the ghetto. I said, the number that they told you to hit, the 12, that's average. I said, what you do as a Harris is you set the bar. This is what I'm telling you. This is how I talk. I said, you set the bar, so I expect you to set the bar. Don't go for average. Go from good to great to phenomenal, son. I said, I expect you to be phenomenal. You my oldest son. My youngest sons watch you. Your brothers watch you. I expect greatness from you, son. So I ain't have to hit him with no belt or no whooping, son. I expect greatness from you. I expect you to be phenomenal. So you don't go for 12 points. I need you to be at 40 points. I need you to be great. When all the kids out there playing, it's okay to go play. But right, let me go get these books in. Let me go read these books. Why? Because son, readers are leaders. When you at 40 points and they send you to be 12, the new bar, the new standard is gonna be set by you, and that's how you be great. That's how you become great. And so that's what happened, guys. I wanted to set a new bar for myself. And I'll tell y'all another story about my son. But by the way, he came home the next day. He was supposed to have 12 points, almost like an impossible feat. Like Maria was like, "I'm gonna take your phone" and all this stuff. And so, you know, he had two options where he could choose for punishment. He had he had like 16 hours to read, I want to say like 10 200-page books. The boy came home with a 12. He came home with 12 points. It's like, Daddy, Mommy, I did it. I'm looking like, hell no, ain't no way you done read that. He buckled down. What I'm saying is, what you expect from yours, what you expect from a man, see a man as he should be, and he becomes, see a man as he could be, and he becomes what he should be. That's how I saw my son. He became what I saw him, and what Maria saw him. And so he hit that 12, but here's the thing. Here's the most amazing thing. The deadline wasn't Monday, it's next Monday. Son, you know what that means? 35, 36. I need you at 36. I need you at 36 now. And he crunk too. He like, I'm going to hit that 36. He ain't going for 12 no more. So what I'm saying, set the bar higher than what everybody else expects of you and yours. And so I set the bar. I sought out greatness. I wanted to be phenomenal. I wanted to go from good, great, Bryan, you lost 40 pounds. Oh, you good? I'm stuck. I'm stagnant. I need to go to the next level. I hired a mentor, a nutrition mentor. Person who was where I wanted to be. Tyson James Lee, Action Boss. Google him, dude. Dude is awesome. The Action Boss. Tyson James Lee. YouTube him. Beast Mode. And dude put me on this nutrition plan that I can honestly say I've made it a lifestyle. I've been on it for probably like 5 or 6 months since I met him. And I've lost, since I've met him, like 60 or 70 pounds or something like that. My energy game is off the chain. My mental clarity is off the chain. And one thing that I love about him that drew me to him is he's a mindset person. He believes in affirmations and visualization. So the first thing that he taught me, which is something that I live by, is visualize where you want to be first. We can't do nothing. We can't even be successful if you don't visualize it. If you don't see it, then I can't get it to you. That's what I'm telling you. If you don't see it for yourself, can't nobody help you. You can hire all the mentors in the world. That's why in my course, I teach people. If you ain't visualize, man, probably like the first 3-4 days, some people get in the course and say, man, I'm going to skip that part. I'm going to skip the mental part. I just need to know how to do the Zillow technique. Let me tell you something. You can do as much Zillow techniquing as you want to. If you don't visualize where you want to be, you ain't gonna get there. Not with no guru, not with no uru, not with no buru. You ain't gonna get there, dog. The master key system is the mindset. And when you have it in mind, bro, you'll have it in the body. Go there in the mind, the body will follow, guys. And so I went there, and he took me to that next level, guys. And like I said, I ran 4 miles a day. And this isn't something that I usually do. And I finished my day. Today was my day to just straight meditate. Meditated all day today. Like I went in the lab, like when I hit my goals, when I do my visualizations, I hit my goals, I take a break from it. It's almost like what they say, like Jesus rested, God rested when he was in creation. When you're in creation mode, it's kind of like a symbolic meaning, like you rest your mind to prepare for the next vision that you're going to create. And so I rest for a minute. And so I just went in the lab, I wrote it down, I brought it from the invisible to the physical by writing it on paper. And wrote it down, and I just redid my visualization for the first time in a while, like a couple months. And it was so excited to mentally take my mind to the place that where I'm gonna go now. Every audio vision that I've done for myself, I've created it, like I've lived it. The astronomical months, the $200,000, $300,000, $500,000 months of incomes, guys, that don't happen by just accident. You don't look up and hit numbers like that. You don't look up and be phenomenal. You visualize being phenomenal. You visualize being great. You visualize being the best of the best. So one of the things that I teach my sons is like, one of my sons, he came home and he had a he had a B, and he didn't get the honor roll list because he had poor workmanship conduct. Hey, son, I don't test that. I don't do all that stuff. I was like, son, look, this is what you do. I need you to go back in the lab, and before you go to bed at night, I need you to visualize running in here telling us you got straight A's. Guess what? He's at all A's. Dog, I'm telling you stuff. My son been visualizing himself with A's, and he ain't never had straight A's, but he visualizing, seeing himself coming there, running there, telling mommy, Grammy, Poppy, everybody he got straight A's, rubbing it in ether face. I was like, this is what you do. And you want to get their feelings involved in it. Hey, rubbing it in ether face in your mind, like, I got straight A's. And what happens is you make it fun for them, and they learn how to become the creators that they were born to be. They learn how to become the creators that they were meant to be. People are walking around just being human and understand that you are a spirit in a human body. You're a spirit in a human body. And you got to understand that connection is there. Your spirit is controlling your body. Whatever your name is, your spirit, your name, the true essence of you is I. That's a spiritual. The I of you is a perfect being. That's spirit. That's the God flowing through you. That's the I of you. The body is the name. And when you understand that you got greatness flowing through your veins, the mechanism, the neurons that's created, the solar plexus, everything, your genetic makeup, your skin, just think about how magnificent the body is. And everything that happens in the body, just think about that for a minute. That's perfection. Only God can do something like that. And when you understand that you got the king of all kings flowing through your veins and through your body, when you realize who you really are, when you realize who you really are, you will wake up. Somebody says stay woke. They probably talking about other stuff. Stay woke. When you see me hashtag, that's what I remember to remember. That's what I'm saying. Remember to remember who you are. You are a child of the Most High, made in the image and the likeness of the Creator, which makes you, right? That gives you the ability to create because you're made in the image and the likeness of the same person, not person, the same God that created this universe. You're made in the image and the likeness. Your spirit is. And that spirit controls this body, meaning that you can mold anything in your life to whatever you want to do. You can do it, guys. Anything. I'm telling you, you could be at zero. Here's the thing. Money is one of the easiest things to manifest once you learn it. Like your bank account could be at zero. This is what I told somebody years ago. I was like, because, you learn how to create and visualize, you can wipe out all the money out of a person who's made millions and created millions for themselves. You can wipe it out of their bank account. And you know what happens? They get it right back. Put $1 million in a person account who ain't never built nothing, who ain't never mentally developed it. What happens? They win the lottery. What happens? They say it's called a lottery curse. No, it's not. It's called a mental vision that they ain't got. People perish because of what? Lack of vision. Lack of vision. And when you have that vision, guys, I'm telling you, it will take you so far. What I'm telling you is remember to remember your greatness. Remember to remember you a descendant of the Most High. Remember, and anything that you want and desire, you will have. Most of us are great people. We desire great things. We desire great things. The spirit side of you. You know what? The thing about it, The Science of Getting Rich, the book by Wallace D. Wattles. Once again, I'm telling you to get that book. And I want you to, we was talking about this in the barbershop, I want you to read that book. And then as you grow into a new being in 12 months, I want you to read it again. Meaning, like, you don't have to go out and get a million new books. You can reread some of the same books because you're a new person now and learn something totally different that you're now open to that you wasn't open to at first. The same books. So I want you to read that book, guys. And in that book, it'll literally kind of develop your mindset to understand, you know, some of the things that I'm talking about in this video, guys. I didn't mean to be this long. I'm not usually ever this long on videos. But, guys, it's your boy B! And reminding you to be great and be the king of all kings and take full advantage of your power and your time on this earth while you are a spirit in a human experience. It's your boy B. I'll talk to you guys later.